Next piece is going to touch on kind of what we alluded to with this conversation, artificial intelligence in the 2024 election. Unfortunately, our speaker couldn't be here this afternoon, but what she's planning to share should be something all on our minds as we move forward. It's going to be a short message from Susan Gonzales. She's the CEO of AIandYou. AIandYou is a nonprofit organization founded by Susan in 2019 when she identified the chasm between the AI ecosystem and marginalized communities. AIandYou aims to help people with easy-to-understand information about AI online through community conversations and events with policymakers. Let's hear what Susan has to share.
Hi, everyone. My name is Susan Gonzales, and I'm so happy to join you, even if it's virtual. I'm especially excited to meet with this group virtually because I'm from the South Bay. I grew up there. I spent most of my life in the South Bay, so it is home to me in my heart, although I live in the Bay Area now. So I really am thankful to have this opportunity to chat with you a bit about AI and election misinformation. So I understand that you've had a number of people today to help you understand the basics of AI. So I'm going to proceed with the thinking that there's some foundational knowledge that you understand the basics and also a little bit about generative AI. But to give you an example of my work, I actually learned about artificial intelligence about 9 years ago, if you can believe it, when I was at Facebook. And I saw that this new technology was allowing the blind community to access the Facebook platform. And I thought that was really cool. And I also decided that it was something I wanted to pursue. So I left the company about 5 years ago. And I quickly learned that there was a big gap between the AI ecosystem in the tech world and the rest of the world. And that means particularly marginalized communities, meaning women, people of color, disabled, LGBTQ, and others. So I launched a nonprofit, AIandYou.org, specifically to help people understand the opportunities and challenges and risks of AI. And so we've been at this now for about 4 years, long before anybody was talking about AI. And so I'm so thankful that it's now mainstream. And my goal is really just to help people understand AI, and specifically about AI and how to protect your vote this year. So shortly, I'll show you a very short video, an explainer video on AI and misinformation. But in general, to be very clear, this election is unprecedented. This is a digital election. It is vastly different from the election 4 years ago. And it's something that everybody needs to be aware about to protect your vote and to please share the information. Again, this is unprecedented. The technology has moved so quickly that unfortunately our government on Capitol Hill and otherwise have not been able to create any regulation or guardrails to protect us as voters. And so we need to take into our own hands and really do research and understand what's happening. The numbers speak for themselves. That this election is going to come down to certain states and certain communities, and but that's not to say that people in the South Bay aren't going to have an impact, because we certainly do. Every vote counts. But this is really about understanding the basics of misinformation and sharing that with others. And this really follows your conversation, hopefully, that you've all had about generative AI and how generative AI can and is being used. And I have to say, I learned two things very quickly. I wanted to understand, and we'll talk about that in the video, about what a deep fake is. You may have heard about deep fakes. And so last summer, I hired a 17-year-old family member, and I said, can you just create a deep fake? Something really extreme, create something where former President Trump is supporting the right to choose and President Biden is supporting the NRA. So, because we know that's never going to happen, but let's see what it looks like in a deep fake. And so he said he spent about 8 hours only, and he created quite a good rough draft of what could be a commercial. And the interesting thing is, he said the most difficult thing was the hair of both men, of getting the hair right. So as you can imagine, that's an indication of how easy it is to create something. And I took it a step further, and in the video I'll show you in just a minute, I used an AI tool to create an AI generated voiceover. So it sounds like me, but it's really not. And this also is an indication of where this technology can go and why it is so prevalent, particularly in LA and Hollywood, because a lot can happen at anybody, anybody has access to this technology. So let me take a minute, and I'm going to pull up this short video and come back on the other side of that. Give me just 1 minute here. It's here. Okay, so take a look.
Elections have always been about connecting with voters. Campaigns will try almost anything to get your attention and vote. The 2024 election will require you to protect your vote because of recent advancements in artificial intelligence, AI. So how exactly is AI influencing the 2024 election? Well, today, we will cover 3 key things you should know about protecting your vote. But let's begin with the big picture. Tools for voter engagement have evolved from telegrams to the internet. Enter 2024, and we find another player in the arena, advanced AI. The 2024 election is all about AI literacy. Voters need a basic understanding of how AI can impact their vote. AI is more than just technology. It reflects our society's evolution. AI has been used in past campaigns to do things such as improve the accuracy of voter registration and voting systems, help campaigns target voters and optimize their messaging to reach voters. Have you ever considered how recent technological advances have made your lives easier? Think about it. Today, you can grocery shop without ever going to the store. You can do many things today you could not do 4 years ago during the last presidential election. Well, how is this happening? AI powers all the new things we do on our devices. And how does AI work? AI needs data to work. So let's dive into AI in your vote. Number 1, instead of a one-size-fits-all campaign, AI enables hyper-personalized messaging, reaching voters with issues that matter most to them and swaying voters with true or false information. Analyzing voter data is invaluable. By analyzing real-time data, campaigns can adjust their strategy, making outreach more effective. The efficiency of AI is unmatched, but it's not without its challenges. And the 2024 election will bring unprecedented amounts of disinformation to you, the voters. So what is misinformation or disinformation, and how is it created? To put it simply, misinformation is false. It is information created to trick voters. It is a campaign video created with AI to make you believe something about a candidate that is not true. It is a phone call that sounds like a candidate, but it is actually AI. It is a personalized fundraising letter created with AI. The most prevalent tool for misinformation is called deepfakes. Number 2, no deepfakes. Deepfakes are hyper-realistic, but entirely fake content pieces that can be used to spread misinformation. In the past, creating a deepfake would require someone in technology, like someone who writes computer code. Not anymore. Deepfakes can be created by someone from their laptop at home. It's becoming harder to differentiate accurate content from AI-generated ones. And we won't get there in time to navigate truth from fiction during this campaign season. The most troubling aspect of deepfakes is there are no guardrails to protect you as voters. There are no rules, regulations, or consequences related to creating false information during the campaign to protect voters against false news, disinformation, or false narratives. Voters must independently research key issues to determine what is true and false. Undecided and new, voters are expected to be the targets of political misinformation, which is critical given that the election is expected to be decided by a small percentage of voters in 2024. Remember that not all AI in elections is misinformation. Campaigns also use AI for positive engagement. For example, virtual assistants or chatbots help answer voter inquiries, ensuring accessibility and connection. And local communities can easily leverage new AI tools to organize and mobilize voters. It begins with searching for the best options to meet your needs. The challenges of election misinformation are global issues at all levels of political campaigns. In Toronto, a candidate in the mayoral election who vowed to clear homeless camps released a set of campaign promises illustrated by AI, including fake dystopian images of people camped on a downtown street and a fabricated image of tents set up in a park. Number 3, what must you do to protect your right to vote based on accurate information? Well, the answer is do not believe anything you see, read, or hear until you have researched it. In the 2024 election, you will not be able to rely on any one source, whether it is online, on TV, or in the press. Deepfakes are not online only. Broadcast TV networks cannot alter political commercials, which could also be deepfakes. It won't be easy, but do your research to protect your right to vote. To wrap it up, do not believe anything you see, read, or hear in any election. Do your research. Seek trusted sources confirming political deepfakes. Most importantly, protect our democracy and protect your right to vote.
If you like this video, check out AIandYou.org. See you next time.
Okay. So I hope that sheds some light on what we're talking about with AI and misinformation and the election. And again, I want to note that that is not my voice. That is an AI generated voice. I used a tool, it's called 11 Labs. And it just required me to basically read anything for 60 seconds into my phone. And it captures my voice. And then I sent over the script for the entire video, and voila, there we have it. An entire script with an AI generated voice. So it really illustrates how easy it is to create a deep fake, whether it's voice, video, or text. So the whole point is be aware of AI misinformation in this election. It is a nonpartisan issue, and it also is an issue that foreign bad actors will be using as well. So this is not just a United States candidate versus candidate or campaign versus campaign, but this is a global issue. And there definitely are opportunities for bad actors to influence our own election. So we really do need to be careful and really do the research and talk to friends. Someone in South Bay, when I was there recently, said, I'm going to rely on the Daily Breeze. They're real reporters and they're covering. So I was like, great. Somebody else said, well, I'm going to rely on debates. So this is, again, an unprecedented election. So be aware, share this news. Feel free to go to AIandYou, AIandYou.org, and then /elections. And we have a lot of information, just simple terms to explain, Q's and A's, other resources, voter resources. So feel free to use it. Feel free to have your organizations use it. Share with your families. But anyway, thank you so much for having me again. South Bay is my home and my heart, so I'm grateful to have an opportunity to join you, although I couldn't be there in person today. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, that's something more for us to think about. And I think one of the things I use as a barometer to misinformation is disinformation. If something or someone agrees with me 100%, I know something's wrong.